Hi, my name is Bailey. I'm doing my presentation on where I grew up, which is Monterey County. I lived in the city of Monterey, in California, and the distributions, or the demographics, sorry, of the city is mainly from 18 to 64 is the main age. Under 18 is about 26%, and the older 65 and up is about 12%. It's pretty equal with the male and female. It's pretty close to half. The main race in this area is Hispanic or Latin culture, and white is about 30%, and the other 10% is Asian, African American, Native American, Alaskan, or Pacific Islander. And the population of the county is about 434,000, and just the city itself is about 30,000. And Monterey is a popular place for visitation for tourism, so they expect about 4.5 million visitors a year. Some quality of life facts. Education in Monterey is actually pretty high compared to the rest of the United States. So it's pretty good, high percentage, 94.2% for people to graduate high school, and a good percentage for people to get a 4-year degree as well. So otherwise, people are going to college, and the master's and professional degree, there's a higher percentage compared to the rest of the U.S. as well. And the religion, it's mainly Catholic or Christian related. You do have your Jewish, Eastern, and Islam cultures, but it's a very small percentage. So more quality of life facts is the median household income is about $60,000. The unemployment rate is 5.3%, and the poverty line is about 16%, and the non-citizens is 21.7%. We have a lot of immigrants from Mexico. The crime rate is, for Monterey compared to the United States, is a little bit high compared to the violent crime like murder and stabbings, because we do have some gang-related crime in another city called Salinas, but this is this is on a scale from like 1 to 100. So as you can see, it's 44.3 and 52.3% for the different types of crime. Some important institutions that we have in Monterey. Monterey is huge in military, so the Naval Postgraduate School, which is the top right picture, it's a program for international military officers to come and get their masters where they study. The Defense Language Institute is where the soldiers or officers, they come and learn language before they deploy. Presidio Army Retention Office, where you can sign up to be in the Army. The Fleet Numerical Meteorology and Oceanography Center is, again, for military. It's a lot of citizens, so Department of Defense, so it's citizens who work for the military. This is where they do analysis and predictions of the Earth's activity. And Fort Ord Military Base, it's now shut down, so what you can see, the middle picture is kind of some of the training grounds of Fort Ord, and then the bottom right picture is a lot of what Fort Ord looks like right now. They are developing on it, just not on parts of it. They have left the old buildings up, so you can actually walk through them. They don't have it gated off, so that's actually kind of fun to do. Some other fun institutions that we have is the Monterey Bay Aquarium. The income actually competes with Disneyland down in Southern California. We have a CSU system, a CSU University, California State of Monterey Bay. It's the most recent university of the CSU system. Fisherman's Wharf and Cannery Row is very popular for tourism. San Carlos Cathedral, it's the oldest church in California. The Custom House is another historical building. It's actually down by the Fisherman's Wharf. It's the first and oldest public building. And the Colton Hall is Monterey's first American sorry, I can't pronounce that, but it was built as as Monterey's like first government center, and the largest public building in California. It was completed in 1849. And Mission San Carlos Borromeo del Rio Carmelo, sorry, that's a mouthful. We just call it Carmel Mission. It's in the city of Carmel. Father Serra built many missions up and down the coast of California, and the San Carlos Cathedral and um, the Carmel Mission is two of them. So some of the images from what I was just talking about, this is the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and this is the Colton Hall, one of the largest government building at the time. This is Carmel Mission. These are two pictures of the wharf. This is the cathedral, and this little bell thing is actually up and down the coast of California. If you see that, that's the route, the royal route, El Camino Real, of the route of where the missions were built, all up and down the coast. And this is the other historical building that is also, that's by the wharf. So this is the map of Monterey and Monterey County, so you can see where it is in California, and then the surrounding counties around it as well. And this is the actual city of Monterey. I live about right over here. So my assessment of Monterey, the goods and the services. So there's many churches and shelters and feeding for the homeless and many nonprofit and government organizations. But the government system is really abused. So it depends. They factor how you receive government aid is from your income, your housing situation, how many children you have. But to kind of help regulate this, I would want the system to ask the families to provide more proof more often, so this way they can kind of regulate the income they are going. That way they know that families are at least trying their part of finding a job. I know more finances would be needed for this regulation, and that's hard to come by. So some of the relationship that binds the citizens together. Churches and religious groups are very helpful with the community. Schools are another institution that kind of requires a lot of volunteer hours from the students. The Monterey Bay Aquarium and one of our big hospitals, the Community Hospital of the Monterey Peninsula, you'll see many volunteers there. You'll see many marathons going on to help with fundraising for cancer research. Neighborhood parks are large, especially in the military housing. We do have a lot of gang-related crime. In the city of Salinas, there are some local homeless people, but there's never too many. You do see one or two here and there, not too often. There is one place where about 4 to 6 of them hang out, but the city is very helpful with providing resources for them, so there's not that many on the street. Commonality of values and goals. You'll see people picking up trashes on the beach, and seats are filled in church. Schools encourage the parents to provide support within the classroom. Music is a large thing as well. There's many music festivals, jazz festival, blues festival, and this provides a place for the local schools and the city talent to come and do the performance, and a lot of the money actually goes back to the city or the local music programs from those music festivals. But the commonality of values and goals isn't necessarily a quote that I think of when I hear the city of Monterey. Whole person principle. Monterey started out small and it's still growing. So there's many people there, so they have to expand the highway. They have to add more wheelchair accessible and ramps and sidewalks. Where Fort Ord is, they're using the training grounds now. They have a university there, many new housing, and a physical therapy hospital, and a mall, and they're still adding to it. A recognized place in the social structure. Monterey has a high place for agriculture. So people who are coming from different different countries where they want to make a better living. This is a place where many people start from with helping in the agriculture. This way they know they have an opportunity for income and a place to where other people have the same understanding as them. Jobs like fast food and busboy restaurants is a place where you'll see mainly white, African American, or like Latin ethnicity over Asian and Indian and other races. Teachers are both male and female, more mainly female, but they're all races as well. And the more educated jobs like lawyers and therapists, you do see a lot of different ethnical mix as well. Opportunities. Monterey isn't really a place for opportunities. It's a place where you can kind of start out with your career, but once you start to kind of want to grow up and move up the ladder, many of those positions are held because it is a place where it is limited. So I wouldn't change anything about Monterey not having that many opportunities. It's a good place to start out for school and education, but it really kind of pushes you out of your bubble where you can go and learn in another part of the state or the county. Predictability. The weather is very predictable. The traffic is very predictable. So this kind of helps with people because they plan better for all this. And so the environment of the Monterey as well is safety. I grew up in a safe city, but again in Salinas is a lot of gang related crime. There's not a lot of natural catastrophes, so this is very helpful to help with the gang related crime. Just I would help by teaching or ask for teaching awareness and kind of safety awareness to kind of keep so that you're aware of being safe. Oh, sorry. The next subject is homogeneity. Each town is a lot more. They are kind of specific in their races. You can see them kind of driving through the towns. There's certain cities that are a little bit more have lower education and income, and this can cause social problems. Sometimes cities start out with one race, but with many immigrants, there's certain neighborhoods that kind of change from one race to another. There is a good mix in the specific city of Monterey, and it is safer compared to Seaside or Salinas. Sometimes certain people are forced to live in a certain area because the housing is lower. On the other hand, people are able to practice the religion they want, and you're able to see this through the way that people dress in the religious affiliated locations. So that is where I'm from, and there's my resources, and thank you for listening.